And this week, we're going to be talking about how to make that booty grow 100%, even if you genetically have a pancake for a butt like I did. So, a while ago, I asked a question in my private Facebook group, Strong and Sexy Moms Club, if moms were trying to grow or shape their booties. And I got a lot of hand raisers saying, yes, I want it. Give me that booty. So here we are, because I'm all about answering those questions and helping you get to your biggest fitness goals. And today, I'm going to give you 3 simple ways that are guaranteed to transform your booty. And I'm going to show you how you can apply these tricks right away to see mind-blowing results very quickly. Yes, kids, Christmas has come early. Now, growing up, my mom would always make fun of my ass, okay? She always said my ass was flat, and I'd be called flat ass. Look at me now, right? My ass has literally exploded. Now, how big your booty grows does depend on genetics. The shape of your booty too, it depends on your genes. But what is guaranteed to work is building those glute muscles and growing them just like any other muscle. All right? Thank you for being here. Just a heads up, our weekly live training has been moved from 2 p.m. GMT to 5 p.m. GMT, just to make it more accessible for our American mummies to watch. I hope you're here. So every week on Wednesday at 5 p.m. GMT, I run a free live training in my private Facebook group, Strong and Sexy Moms Club, to help mummies shrink that waistline and build strong, lean muscle. Okay, so I just want to make sure that everything is going as planned. Yes, we are live here. Kalvane says, hi, hello, hello. All right, let's dive in. Now, I want to start with a little story. I used to work as a performance manager in an international airline, as some of you know. And one of my responsibilities was to audit flight managers on the job. You know, make sure they were doing their jobs correctly, support them to be the best that they could be. Now, when I was doing an audit on one of the managers, I noticed that someone in her team named Anna did not do her pre-flight safety check correctly. What does that mean? A pre-flight safety check is basically this thorough check you do of the aircraft before the passengers come on board to make sure there's nothing in there that shouldn't be there. Now, instead of addressing this with Anna, giving her feedback, this manager she just put the whole team together, and she told them all to make sure that their pre-flight check was done correctly the next time. Now, what happened here is Anna didn't know that this was actually directed towards her. And in her opinion, she did her job perfectly well. And because she didn't receive specific feedback, she didn't know that she had to change something. And as a result, the whole team's pre-flight safety check was ineffective, which leads me to my first point. If you're not talking to your glutes and you're not specifically telling your glutes to work, they're not going to do anything, okay? And any kind of leg workout that you do is not going to target your glutes. Can you relate with this? Like, do you feel like you're doing all these exercises, that you've been told that it's going to grow your booty, but you just feel like your legs are getting sore and just your legs seem to be working? Let me know in the comments if you feel like this. Now, mind-muscle connection is the number one fastest way to get your booty to grow. What I see women do, whether new or even highly experienced, with exercise, their legs are doing all the work. Studies have shown that mind-muscle connection increases muscle activity anywhere from 6% to 53%. Just think about that. How much more your glutes are going to grow if you just talk to them. So the first way to fast track that booty growth is to focus your mind on squeezing those glute muscles. When you're sitting down to work, when you're sitting in your car, you're standing to cook, you're brushing your teeth, you're climbing stairs, hopefully there's no one behind you, right? Tell your glutes to flex. And this is probably going to be hard at the beginning, and you might only feel your legs, but give it time. It took me several weeks to get this right, but when it clicks, it is glorious. right? Literally every leg workout you do, your glutes are going to be up and ready to work. All right. Next up, point number 2. So I had a client named Jen, and let's use Gabriella here. Okay. This is going to be Jen. Okay. Now, Jen was constantly complaining about knee pain. So I asked her to send me a video performing lunges, which is, when her knees were hurting the most. And I noticed that as she was lunging down, okay, let me see if I can get you to see this. She's lunging down. And when she gets up, she's putting all of the focus over here, on the toes. So she's lifting up out of the lunge with all the pressure on her toes. So what's happening here is that her knees are taking all the pressure. Okay, all of that's going to her knees and to her quads, right? So what I asked her to do, I asked her, instead of putting all the pressure here, to move all the pressure here. So she's in the lunge, okay? Gabriella is very inflexible. So she's in the lunge, and when she steps up, I asked her to push off from the back of her foot, from her heel. So then she gets up and she pushes up like this. What happens in this case is that now her glutes and her hamstrings are working, okay? This is what's happening when she's pushing off from here. So this small little tweak literally helped her knees stop hurting. Okay, they were not hurting anymore. And she noticed that her glutes were more activated, literally with just that small thing. So has this happened to you? Have you had to stop doing lunges, or some kind of exercise because your knees just can't take it? Let me know in the comments, what exercise makes your knees hurt? Now, this leads to the second point. All the power should come from your heel, from the back of your foot when you lift up, not from your toes. Okay, and this applies to any exercise: squats, deadlifts, hip thrusts, step ups, all of it. It takes the pressure off your knees and fully targets your glutes instead. All right, let us jump to point number 3 with a little story. I was watching a movie the other day called Rockstar. I don't know if you've seen it. It's about a rock band called Steel Dragon. And they had just replaced their lead vocalist, and they brought in this new guy played by Mark Wahlberg, who we all love. Now, Mark Wahlberg, being the new guy, has all these great ideas for the band. Okay, and he brings in this whole list of new ideas for the albums and direction that the band will go, all of that. And he gets told by the guitarist, who's one of the founding members, hey, you don't get a say in what the band plays, all right? We decide based on what the audience wants, not what you want. And if we don't give the audience what they want, they're going to leave. And that got me thinking, the things that you see on Instagram, all the workouts and exercises that women who have, millions or thousands of followers, stuff that they post is solely driven by what you like to see and not necessarily what is best for you. They do what looks sexy and appealing, what makes their ass look great because sex sells. It's not what they're actually doing behind the scenes. You ask for variety and they invent shit that is completely useless, so you don't get bored of watching them. You'll ask for 100 squat challenge, or you think doing kickbacks on a Stairmaster looks bomb. They'll keep throwing that shit at you. So hands up if you've fallen victim to this. I know I have for many, many months. Let me know in the comments, if you've done or you're doing some workouts or exercises from some very famous person on Instagram for a long time and your butt looks nowhere close to theirs. Let me know in the comments. And this leads me to the third point. Stop doing fairy shit and start doing exercises that fully focus on your glutes, not focus on your legs, okay? So if you want to grow your glutes, you have to do glute-focused exercises. And here are some examples. I'm going to try and get Gabriella to perform this for you. She's quite inflexible, so... Okay. Now, some of the best glute-focused exercises are Let's say you're doing a squat like this, okay? Like this stance, or you're doing deadlifts, okay? What I want you to try and do is widen that stance, okay? This looks really bad, but you get my point, okay? So you widen that stance. So you can do your sumo, it's called sumo squats. So sumo squats or sumo deadlifts with a wider stance. And I find that this really targets my glutes like really well, okay? So try that. The next one is hip thrusts. And really, any variation of hip thrusts or glute bridges is gold, okay? If you want to fast track your booty growth, you should be including these in your routine. So what I do, sometimes I'll do 6 reps with like really heavy weight, and sometimes I'll do 20 reps with lighter weight. And this hits my booty muscles in different ways, all good. It really depends on the structure of your workout routine. The last bit of gold I want to give you is banded work. So if you have a booty band, all I want you to do is spend 3 minutes at the end of your leg workout, just 3 minutes, only doing booty band exercises, all right? Like kickbacks or frog pumps or abductions, only 3 minutes, and don't stop till your ass is on fire. Okay, this is going to be really good for your glutes. All right, and it's also going to give you this really good booty pump that will last. It usually lasts a day or 2 days for me. All right, lots of gold nuggets dropped today. Just to recap, these 3 things are guaranteed to grow your booty. And yes, genetics plays a role in how big your booty gets, but you can still 100% grow your booty if you do these things. 1, mind-muscle connection. 2, pushing off from your heel instead of your toes. And 3, doing booty-focused exercises and not random leg exercises. And that is it for today. I want to thank Gabriella for being such a good sport. Now, if you're not in my private Facebook group, Strong and Sexy Moms Club, let's go. Get signed up. Only if you're a mom, okay? I'm not accepting anyone else. We focus on reducing that waistline and growing sexy curves. If you're watching this on Facebook or YouTube, click the link in the caption to join my free group. And if you're on Instagram, click the link on my profile and request to join. I will see you next week, same time. So it's 5 p.m. GMT Wednesday for our next live training. Until then, Merry Christmas in advance, and I hope you have a wonderful time. Ciao.